Hi, I'm Glenn Rogers, and this is American Perspectives. Today, we're going to ask the question, who oversees the overseers? Well, what does that mean? We'll get to that in a minute. But let's begin with the idea that we refer to America all the time as a democracy. Are we? Are we really a democracy, or are we something else? Could we be what's called a constitutional republic? Well, whichever we are, whether we're a constitutional republic or a democracy, how much input do we as the people have? That's a very important discussion. We're going to have that discussion in this video. But first, let me take just a minute to ask you to help us out and subscribe to our channel. There's a little button down below, down there. If you click that, you'll be a subscriber. It doesn't cost you anything. Nobody will bother you, but it would really help our channel quite a bit. So we'd appreciate it if you would do that. Okay, so what's this deal with whether America is a democracy or not? Most scholars agree that the founders of America established a republican form of government. If you look at the Constitution, in Article 4, Section 4, it says, "The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government." Now, they're not talking about the Republican Party. That's not what that means. A republican form of government is where the people rule democratically through elected representatives rather than directly. You know, in ancient Greece, they had a direct democracy. Everything that was considered, every citizen showed up, and they were required by law to show up every few weeks and give a number of days to the discussion of Athenian business, and everybody had to vote. It was a direct vote by all of the citizens for everything that happened there. And our founders looked at that and they said, yeah, really, we're not sure that we want to go in that direction. There are a lot of drawbacks to that. And so they established instead a constitutional republic. And you can read about that in some of our historical documents, the Federalist Papers, number 10 and 39. And you can just do a Google search for that, just literally type in the Federalist Papers 10 and 39. And what you'll get is some stuff written by President Madison, where he was talking about the fact that America is either a democratic republic or it can also be called a constitutional republic. It means the same thing, whether you call it one or the other. The focus is on the fact that we're a republic and we have a constitution that guides the government in what they can and can't do, how the government is structured, how the country is structured, how society functions, okay? And so that's why many people like the term constitutional republic. And so the representatives that we elect govern by following the Constitution. It provides the rules by which elected officials govern, the things they can and can't do, the way things are done. There are procedures that are outlined in the Constitution, and it provides the basic structure for how our nation functions. And the founders specifically didn't want a direct democracy. And so that's why basically you can't just say America is a democracy. Well, not really. We're a constitutional republic. Democracy is involved because the people, and that's what democracy means. Demos is people, okay? People ruled. The people, though, elect officials. So we're a democracy in that sense. We vote and elect officials. Then they go to Washington and follow the Constitution as a guide for how to govern the nation. Okay, but why? Why didn't the Founding Fathers want a direct democracy? And the reason they didn't is because it was subject to the abuses of the majority. And if you go back into ancient history and you read the works of Plato and others, the philosophers of the day were not, intrigued with the idea of democracy, because they understood what kind of problems can develop out of having a simple majority make all of the decisions. And what it amounts to is that in this country, the majority doesn't get to decide everything. See, and I think a lot of people don't understand that. Many people are complaining about, well, the majority this and the majority that, and the majority should be allowed to do this and whatever. But this country was set up to avoid that, because a fair and just society has to be fair and just for everyone, not just the majority. You see, and if the majority gets worked up by certain people in certain ways, and they vote a certain way, the majority could really end up oppressing the minority in ways that are just not pleasant, not even nice. They could end up being ugly, right? And so America is, in fact, a constitutional republic, and the citizens elect officials to go to Washington and manage the government on behalf of the people who elected them. Now, here's the important question in all this. We get back to our title: who oversees the overseers? Okay, who oversees the elected representatives? Who manages them? Who makes sure that they're doing their job, that they're doing it right, that they're doing it well? Well, if President Lincoln was right, and our government is, as he said, of the people, by the people, and for the people, then we oversee the elected officials. Okay, but here's the problem with that. They don't seem to think so. People in Washington seem to think that they're in charge. And here's the problem. We let them go ahead and do just about whatever they want. Well, let me tell you, that strategy is just about to come up behind us and bite us in the backside. We talk about congressional oversight all the time. Congressional oversight of this and congressional oversight of that. Okay, yeah, fine. But who has oversight of the Congress? Well, we do. Okay, it is simply not the case that once we cast our vote and certain people get elected, that they go to Washington, and then from then on, we're out of the picture because they're running everything. See, that's not the way it's supposed to work. We have oversight of the government, but we're not exercising our authority. We're letting them do pretty much whatever they want. And that, I think, is foolish. So how long is it going to be before we assert the power that we have? How long will we let elected officials just do pretty much whatever they want? And they love to get up in front of the camera and say, well, the American people want this. How do they know that? How do they know what the American people want? Well, they take surveys and they do this and they do that. I've had some training in how to prepare and conduct surveys and how to utilize surveys in research and what to do with that data and how to do it. And I can tell you that data is not as ironclad as they would like for you to believe. Basically, when I hear someone, and it doesn't matter if they're Democrat or Republican, if they're liberal, conservative, it doesn't matter, when they say, well, the American people want, the very first thing that comes into my mind is that, buddy, you don't know what the American people want. Now, maybe that's the case, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh there, but they love to get up in front of the people and say, well, the American people want, so we're doing this and whatever that. And I think most of them haven't got a clue as to what the American people want. And I think sometimes the American people are not even sure what they want. They just want something better. And most of the time we're not getting anything better. Usually we just get something different, but it hasn't gotten better for a long time. So who oversees the overseers? We do. But if we're not doing that, if we're not utilizing our power and authority to make things go the way we want them to go, then what's going to happen? I think we need to think about that, and we need to find ways to communicate with our officials so that they understand what we expect them to do. Okay, those are my thoughts in this video. I hope you found them helpful or interesting to some degree. If you did or didn't, either one, there's a place where you can leave comments down below, and that would be great. I want to ask you again to subscribe to the channel, maybe hit the thumbs up button, and you can share this with other people on other media platforms, and that would be great as well. So help us out however you can. Thank you for watching today, and I hope you'll tune in again. Thanks.